What is going on, a journey fam? Now, listen, I think this is about my fifth time recording this thing. Let's just say when you really are just starting a YouTube channel and you haven't got the hang of voiceovers, it's good to practice. But, anyways, I know it's been 3 years since I've actually done a video, and guess what? We're back. Yes, I am finally back doing vlogs, shorts, the whole YouTube thing. I took a break because I actually went back to teaching. Yes, I am a teacher, but after I had my babies, I was home for about almost 8.5 years. And when my daughter went back to school, a year after that, I was like, yeah, I'm bored. And I tried to start the whole social media thing, but I didn't follow through all the way. And I needed to actually be out of the house. I needed to be active and moving around. And there's but so much cleaning, cooking, laundry, and so forth that you can do until you're like, okay, what's next? So I went back into teaching and I absolutely enjoyed it. I've actually always enjoyed it, but like I said, the last time I was a teacher for teaching, um, I was pregnant with my boys. I actually stopped, and I think like a month and a half later, I had my boys. So it was good to be back into it. I met some awesome parents. A lot of them were sad and were crying because I was leaving. But if I ever decided that I wanted to go back and my job was hiring, she would take me back in a heartbeat. Like, no questions asked. I left on a good note. So, again, if I needed to jump back in it, I could. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. The only thing is when they have like observations come in from the state, that's where it's just like nerve wracking. But other than that, I actually enjoyed it. Um, why did I stop teaching? Again, because my twins are going into middle school and I have to be the bus, the bus driver. I've mentioned before that I have a son who has autism, and him taking an actual school bus to school is going to be overwhelming for him, overstimulating. If it's too crowded, too noisy, he's not going to be able to handle it. Has he been on a school bus? Yes, he's been for field trips where there's a limited amount of kids. There's only one way going and one way back. With bus stops, you have a lot of stops in between. So we had to basically do what is right for our child. And we do have like my mother and my father-in-law who both are home, but the responsibility is way too much for them, I feel, as a parent. They're both able-bodied. My mom is on disability, but I just don't want them driving and getting up early and dropping off, picking up. It's a lot. And of course, if we needed them to, they would. But I just, don't feel comfortable with them doing that. And it's okay because I will find something that can work to still bring in the income. Luckily, I have an amazing husband who has been a rock when I was home pregnant, when we had our twins, when we had our daughter. We never had to worry about how ends are going to meet or bills are going to be paid. He always held it down as the male in the house, the father, the husband. On his salary, we're able to take trips still and do, fun activities. That don't mean we're rolling in money. It just means that my husband is very responsible when it comes to money and makes great choices. Where we need to skimp and save, he does, but obviously it's not on important things. So I'm very blessed to have that kind of husband and father. So, God will see us through. We've been doing it for years. So I know we got it down. It will be good. So that's what life has been like. And now I'm going to be back to a stay at home mom. And, you know, it's kind of going to be an adjustment. People are probably like, girl, what? Because honestly, I enjoy working. And now I have to go back to being that stay at home mom. Laundry, shopping, cooking, cleaning, all of the above. But at least I get back to having my mental breaks when. Okay, so yes, outfit change. I did go and take a shower because I was ripping and running today and I felt like let me take a break and take a shower. So I got this side of the room better. This chair goes with this table. Well, it doesn't go with it, but it was put with it. But it was outside when we were at our pool because we have a pool outside, and I had that. It's been outside for a while, so I brought it in. It was wet, so I flipped it over, and that black stuff is paint. Anywho, so this side has gotten cleaned up as far as the floor is concerned. I dust the top of there. I haven't dust the shelf over here, but I will get to that. But the floor was swept, vacuumed. Now we have to tackle this side. This is the other side of the playroom. Now, you might see my kids running through here soon because they are on the way back with mom with hubby. So you might see them come through. But my goal tonight is to get this room done. It's like 10:05 or something like that. So I'm gonna go pour me some water and get back to this. I'm gonna have my headphones on because I have to have something like listening to while I'm cleaning, sometimes cooking. So that'll kind of keep me zoned. But I am going to tackle this. Okay. I want to give myself an hour, at least an hour, to get this side done. I also, you'll see, I moved the couch, and thankfully there wasn't anything really back there. You'll see me sweeping because it was like plastic wrappers, but there was nothing under there, thank God. That red thing is a pool noodle. I need to get the couch, like under couch stoppers, and put there. But for the most part, these pool noodles have been working amazing. So let's jump back into it. Like I said, I'm gonna grab me some water and get back started. Now, let's get into why we're doing a clean with me. So, this is my children's playroom, and this actually was an addition that was made onto our house. Now, prior to this, this was a patio. Now, it was a little bit smaller in size, in width, and I think as well as length. I think my husband had them extended a little more. And back in 2020, when the world was going crazy, my father-in-law actually brought up the idea to my husband about changing our patio into a playroom for our kids and also adding an additional bedroom. Now, I feel like my father-in-law probably meant make the whole space my kids' playroom, but we actually turned some of it into a decent sized bedroom. Now, with a bedroom, you have to have a closet. So, yes, there's a closet in here or in there. I'm currently sitting here now, that's why I said that. But we've made a majority of it our children's playroom. And in all honesty, it was the best idea. Now, like I said, this was back in 2020 when my father-in-law thought of this idea, and my husband and him started to talk about creating this space. And for me, it was like we are dealing with a world crisis right now, and to put this together, are you nuts? Are you crazy? But the blessing of my father-in-law, he's actually supported it financially, as well as one of my husband's aunts. She put money towards it as well. So we were blessed in that aspect. My father helped with the building part of it. He actually did a lot of the drywall, putting in some of the wiring for um, the lights and so forth, I think, or it was the AC. I'm not 100% sure, but he helped with like the roofing, the ceiling, sorry. But the biggest part was a lot of the manual labor was all done by family members of my husband. Now, that doesn't mean they weren't certified because you need permits to do all this. So we went through the whole permit situations. Everyone was licensed who built this foundation, who put the cement bricks in for the walls, everything. So, no, we didn't just be like, hey, can you come help us build this one? No, everybody was fully certified, licensed, and the whole 9 yards. Now, this project took longer than I needed and wanted it to, and that was because, like I said, the world was going through a lot. So, a lot of materials had to come shipped from overseas or other places, and that took forever. Just when I'm like, oh, we've reached one good part, we're almost there, boom, there was another thing thrown in the mix. And then to have them come check out your permits and have them come check out each and every step and sign off on it, it became a lot. But I am thankful. We are blessed. Our children have their own space. And if you look right now, next to that bookshelf, there's a little room. That is actually what we've made as a bedroom, but we're currently using it as an office slash learning room for myself for the office, my children for the learning room. I'm going to do a video of what it looks like in here because it needs a lot of organization and cleaning as well. So I will do a video so you can see what that looks like. But like I said, thankful and blessed that we have this space. But this video is actually me cleaning it up because it is summertime here and I'm trying to get it cleaned, organized, and everything for my kids to be able to do their best at keeping it semi this way, but also them enjoying their summer. Now the big question, why can't they clean it themselves? Because their mom has a little bit of OCD, and I wanted before the summer kicks off that I did a good cleaning, throwing away toys that needed to be thrown away, donating toys that needed to be donated, putting stuff in the right space, and then they're gonna always take care of it from here on out by themselves because they actually want chores. So I did my part. Now from here on out, it's their part. Now when it comes to the office slash learning room, right now, that's my part. So once you see that video, that has nothing to do with them. It's all me. As you can see, there's actually a couple of mismatch pieces in this room. And that's because I honestly haven't found a groove of how I want this room to look. I am still struggling. It's been 2 years and I am still having a hard time trying to figure out how I want to do this room. So for right now, it is what it is. My kids love it. The couch that's in here pulls out to a pull-out bed, so they have some sleepovers at night. As you can see, their dog has his little corner, and yes, he is in that cage at the moment because I'm trying to clean and sweep. You saw early in the video, our dog roams around. Trust me, my kids even have him in their playroom couch sometimes. So no, he's not a locked up in the cage kind of dog at all. So that's why he's in there for those who are going to be like, why is your dog locked up? But that's why. So they have 2 tables. That white one my husband ordered. He thought it was much bigger than it was. It's giving toddler table. I thought he might have returned it. He kept building it. It's there. It's considered their coffee table. The good thing about it, it has 3 storage squares on each side. And where I thought it would come with bins, it did not. So I had to use bins that I had in our garage that has a lot of squishies and all those little knick-knacky things in there. So again, like I said, I have a mild case of OCD, so I had to get this room right. But once I finally figure out what it is I want to do in here, it's going to flow. It's going to be better. It's going to be 100% um, functional. And when that day comes, I will definitely take you on that journey. But for now, like I said, the kiddos love it. They play in here every day. They have their own space, their safe space to come and do whatever they want. Now, do they wander into my living room? Of course they do. Do I kick them out? Sometimes I try to, and sometimes I can't. So, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm thankful and blessed that we were able to have this space. The office space is also a great gift in that I could close that door and I could focus on doing videos now, doing vlogs in here, if I need to do sit down videos. So everything is going to work out. And when I finally get together what I want in this office slash learning room, it's gonna flow. Originally, the office slash learning room was supposed to be the kids' art slash learning room, but I noticed they'd rather do the art in their playroom. So I moved everything that was in here that was related to art, pens, pencils, name it, they got it. I moved it into their playroom. So I didn't fuss, I didn't argue. I said, you know what? This is where they like to do it. Then let's move it to where they feel comfortable. So again, I'll take you on the journey of getting this room together, the learning room, and I want to get it done before the school year starts so that way when they start back school, they know this is the homework room, this is where you bring your backpack, this is where you get any of your books you need to read for the night. Everything that is needed will be in this room for them, and I'm so excited for it. But we're at the end of the video, so I thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're gonna get this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good and blessed day. We should ride a bike round Amsterdam.